In today's video, I want to highlight a great sale that Amazon is running right now. They've slashed the price on a lot of newly released PlayStation 4 games. We're talking about games that were released in 2019 and games that haven't gone on sale all too much, so I definitely want to give all of those titles a mention. On top of that, it looks like the Horizon Zero Dawn sequel is in fact in development. As a part of the Star Wars celebration, an actress who played a DLC character in a Horizon Zero Dawn's Frozen Wilds DLC said something pretty interesting, and that was posted on Reddit, and she specifically said that she knew some secrets and that you're gonna die when we see it. So that kind of points to how big this game is gonna be. Also, Media Molecule has confirmed what time you can get your hands on the Dreams Early Access on PlayStation 4. Remember that this is dropping on April 16th, and they said that limited amount of space is gonna be available. They did say that they plan to have enough space for a large majority of users that want access into it, but usually whenever something like this happens and they have a limited amount of space available and expectations are at one place, it seems like expectations always are surpassed by a great degree, and I think that's gonna happen with Dreams based on the value that you're getting by jumping in on the game via this early access period. We'll talk about that and exactly when you guys can play the game based on your region. More on that at the end of this video. First, let's go over all of the great game deals that Amazon is running right now. They have some sizable discounts on a lot of games and a lot of new releases as well. I want to mention Nier Automata Game of the Yorha Edition. That is 25% off for $29.99. I mentioned that when this Game of the Yorha Edition was released that it really isn't adding much that important to the Nier Automata base game, but the Nier Automata base game is already so good that $40 at that release price was already worth it, and you get some cool incentives as well with this edition. However, now that it's gone on sale for $30, this is an easy buy with that extra content and with the base game already being so stellar. If you've yet to play Nier Automata, you should really do yourself a service and pick this game up ASAP. Yes, it's a little bit zany, but it's got some incredible music, it's got that incredible Platinum Games action gameplay that you know and love, and for $30, it's absolutely awesome. I hope to see this game get more recognition so we can see a follow-up at some point, but Nier Automata seemingly already did well enough that I think a sequel will come at some point. In recent memory, this is one of those Square Enix games that has really resonated with gamers, even more so than some of their bigger games. I think Nier Automata generally to the gamer has been more well received than say Final Fantasy 15 or dare I say even a Kingdom Hearts 3 because it was that good of a game, and if you've yet to check it out, Game of the Yorha Edition for $30 is terrific. Anthem, I know, is not getting a lot of love right now, but it is discounted over on Amazon, 23% off for $46.24. Cheapest I've seen Anthem for, but based on how this game is doing from a commercial and critical reception and a fan reception, I could see this game going cheaper and cheaper as we head into the summer if they want people to get reinvested into the game. Price discounts is probably something that's gonna need to happen. Also, with price discounts, you would hope that the game would evolve and it would become more of a compelling experience. It seems like EA is not ready to give up on Anthem yet, and some people have found a modicum of enjoyment out of the game, so maybe check it out if a couple of friends are playing. $46 is the cheapest I've seen for it thus far. A JRPG that I've been highly recommending going into 2019, Tales of Vesperia, the definitive edition, is down to $39.79. Seems like this is the steepest discount we're gonna get on TOV for a little bit, but Tales of Vesperia is such a good game. If you guys haven't played it, it's a tremendous JRPG, and the Tales of games generally don't differ too much from one another. Really what does differ is from a storytelling standpoint. However, that's one of the strongest areas of Tales of Vesperia, the storytelling as well as the characters, especially the character roster. I've often mentioned that Tales of Vesperia has one of the most engaging and refreshing main characters to a JRPG instead of your typical zero to hero storyline where the main character is a little bit of a pushover, is a little bit unsure of himself. Yuri is just one of the most engaging main characters that you're gonna find in a JRPG, and he has this lackadaisical, nonchalant attitude that makes him such a compelling character, and some of the other characters are also very good. It's just a really good JRPG. Does it reinvent the wheel in any way? No, but if you're a fan of JRPGs and if you're a fan of the Tales of series, you're definitely gonna find a lot to like in Tales of Vesperia. Just Cause 4 is discounted to $30. That's not a bad buy. I didn't think Just Cause 4 was all that great of a game. However, I do think Just Cause 3, even from a gameplay standpoint, is the better game, which is kind of surprising. You go from one game to another, and really all you're doing is backtracking rather than making improvements, and that's what I really saw with Just Cause 4. If you've already played Just Cause 3 and you want more Just Cause 4 isn't a bad buy, especially at this discounted price. However, if you're just looking for a fun open world to get into, I would much more recommend Just Cause 3, and you can find that readily a lot cheaper. Far Cry New Dawn is down to $20. That seems to be the regular rate for Far Cry New Dawn. It seems to be a regularity that Ubisoft games get discounted really quickly. Far Cry New Dawn being, what, just a month old, and now it's already 50% off. If you bought this day one, I would feel a little bit bummed out, but nonetheless, FC New Dawn, $20, not a bad buy on that either. God Eater 3 is down to $49.49. that, this is a game that has gone really under the radar. It was released back in February. It's held up in price, no doubt. However, in terms of recognition and notoriety, God Eater 3 hasn't had much of that, but now it's down to $49 and change. If you're looking for that anime Monster Hunter experience that I've always touted God Eater to be, would give it a recommendation. However, if you're just looking to get into God Eater 2 is so much cheaper that is a good starting point. However, if you played that and you want to just jump into God Eater 3, again, a little bit of a discount on that. Tom Clancy's The Division 2 is down to $50 flat. If you're looking for a multiplayer experience, I probably should have recommended this ahead of Anthem. The Division 2 is without a doubt the better game, and it's actually a very compelling multiplayer experience. The Division 1 turned out to be a great game by the end of it, and The Division 2 really kicks off at a great starting point, and given what Ubisoft did with The Division 1 and how that game improved over time, I have a lot of high hopes for The Division 2, and we already have a year of content mapped out, and it's looking to make sizable improvements over that year. But the game was released less than a month ago, and it's already $10 off. I think I've seen it a little bit cheaper, but as a Ubisoft game goes, they just get cheaper and cheaper. However, from a content standpoint, $50 for The Division 2 is easily worth it. Jump Force is down to $48.95. Now, I know Jump Force gets a lot of flack, but personally speaking, being a big fan of the Jump characters, if you just want that multiplayer fighting game experience, if you're a fan of all of these characters, you want a game that you can just relax with your friends and just play, Jump Force honestly isn't that bad of a game if you're looking for more of a stylistic presentation over substance. There isn't a lot of substance in Jump Force, I will give you that, but the style is definitely there. The flash is definitely there. I just wish we had some English voiceovers because, God, DBZ, Goku, Vegeta, all those voices in Japanese, I am just not a big fan. I know usually with Japanese IPs, you tend to prefer the Japanese voiceovers, but in the case of Dragon Ball, please give me that English dub. But nonetheless, $48.95 for Jump Force. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, it's a game that's getting a sizable amount of DLC, but that's the case with any fighting game. Hasn't been going on sale much, so if you're interested in all of the different IPs, if you just want a game that's flashy, more so than having a lot of substance, Jump Force actually isn't all too bad of a buy. And lastly, Kingdom Hearts 3 is discounted on the PlayStation 4. It's actually down lower than $40. I believe this is the cheapest I've seen it for. It's available for $38.49, which is a great price for Kingdom Hearts 3. Speaking of Square Enix, this is one of the best games they've put out recently. I would rank Nier Automata slightly ahead of it, but nonetheless, that's a great buy, especially if you're looking for a quality JRPG. And by the way, would recommend you to get Kingdom Hearts the story so far before you check out Kingdom Hearts 3. I feel like that needs to be reiterated whenever I talk about this game, because yes, while it's been received well, while it does have a nice recap video to get you acclimated back into Kingdom Hearts, you want the entirety of the story. Picking up the story so far will do you just that, and it'll give you a good gateway point for Kingdom Hearts. And lastly, as far as the deals are concerned, Persona Dancing Endless Night Collection is down to $62.23. Now, this released at $100, which was a hefty price. However, it has a lot of content, including Persona 3 Dancing, Persona 5 Dancing, and the only way to get Persona 4 Dancing on PS4 is through this collection. So you effectively get 3 games for the price of $62. Now, that works out to what, $20 and change for all of those games. I hope my math is right on there, but this collection did release at $100, but now for $62, much more palatable of a pickup. And if you like the Persona music, which how can you not a bad buy here. Alright, so those are all of the deals available right now. I do want to give you guys a couple of other tidbits. It does look like the Horizon Zero Dawn sequel is in development right now, because speaking at the Star Wars convention, actress Janina Gavankar, who played Eden Versio in Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Tatai in Horizon Zero Dawn's DLC, said something pretty critical that was relayed by Reddit. Quote, "It's incredible, wait until you see the sequel. You're gonna die, I know some secrets, you're gonna die." That was in reference to a Horizon Zero Dawn sequel. Kinda let the cat out of the bag a little bit early, as Guerrilla Games nor Sony have confirmed anything about a Horizon Zero Dawn sequel. However, it is interesting because we mentioned a job listing that was posted by Guerrilla Games, and that pointed towards a new multiplayer game in development. Now, it's very possible that Guerrilla Games has expanded to a very large studio, and they have some people working on a Horizon sequel, some people working on a new Killzone. That is entirely possible, and we've seen that in the past, and that's what I love about Sony Studios. They don't rely on one franchise forever. They jump around a little bit. They alternate games. Even with a Naughty Dog that had something so incredibly successful like Uncharted, they decided to step away for a little bit and do The Last of Us. Then they came back to Uncharted, and it just lets our appetite grow for the games. Unlike Microsoft, and not to throw shade at Microsoft, but I kind of have to, it's just churning out Gears of War after Gears of War. It's churning out Forza after Forza. It's churning out Halo game after Halo game. And yes, while some of those games are great, it's nice to see the franchises breathe a little bit and let these studios work on other compelling projects at the same time. And that's why I think a studio like Sucker Punch has been so great, a studio like Naughty Dog, Guerrilla, because they've been able to work on so many different compelling projects. And you're seeing that yet again with Guerrilla Games probably working on a new Killzone Killzone based on that job listing, unless they're looking to implement multiplayer into Horizon, but I really don't think that'll be the case. I just think they're working on a couple of different projects. And lastly, I do want to give you guys a heads up on when you can play Media Molecule's next game in Dreams through the Early Access program. Remember, there's going to be a limited amount of space available, so if you're interested, on April 16th, go on the PlayStation Store right when it's posted and add it and buy it. It'll be available for $30 in early access, and if you buy it in early access, you will get access to the full game that I imagine will be released at a full $60, so it would be a great idea to get it through the early access program. For those in Europe, Russia, Australia, and New Zealand, it'll go live from 10:30 a.m. BST. For those in North America, the time will be at 8:30 Pacific. That's 8:30 a.m., and that translates to 11:30 a.m. Eastern, so you gotta be up pretty early. Unfortunately, if you are working next Tuesday, that's kind of a bummer, but phones exist for a reason. As Blizzard once famously said, do you guys not have phones? Set up an alarm and then make sure to pick up Dreams, and you can start creating your own games, playing everybody else's creations, which I think is going to be the most interesting thing. My creative prowess isn't all too great, but I am very excited to see what other people come up with. And that's really what's gonna happen with Dreams. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, Amazon is running some great deals right now. I didn't even cover everything. There are deals like Gungrave VR. PUBG on PlayStation 4 is discounted as well. I'll leave a link in the description box down below where it goes through everything. By the way, Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, another Ubisoft release, that is discounted 25%, so you can get that for $30. Definitely not a bad buy. But a lot of deals available right now. Horizon Zero Dawn sequel does look to be in development, and Media Molecule's Dreams is dropping Tuesday. Again, 10:30 a.m. BST, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, and 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Make sure you are on the ball with that if you are interested. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.